as we now head to the phone line and welcome in Hedgesville football head coach Matt Faircloth. Coach, how are you today, sir?
I'm good. How about yourself?
We are doing just fine here as your team finally gets in the win column last week, 16-0 against Parkview. Congrats on it. Your thoughts on that game, and just break it down for us.
I mean, I think, our kids went out and executed the game plan offensively, got into smash mouth offense, ate a lot of clock, limited Parkview's possessions. And defensively, executed the game plan. We knew what they wanted to do, and, we worked, all week on, what we wanted to do to eliminate what they want to do. And kids executed the game plan pretty good. We gave up one big play there early, but the very next play we went back and caused a turnover. So, in the weeks past, when we gave up big plays, our kids weren't able to, shake it off and move on to the next play. But Friday night, showed some growth and some maturity as far as moving on to the next play.
On the defensive side with that shutout, what do you think it was that you guys focused in on that led to so much success?
We say it all the time, alignment assignment. We lined up correctly all night long. We did our assignments, except for the very first play of the game. But after that, they shook it off, lined up correctly, did their assignment, and played with relentless effort. And that's been our big thing so far is, lining up correctly, doing our assignment, and then playing with the pursuit, relentless pursuit. And I think we finally put those together. And in special teams on Friday night, we finally took advantage of some things.
I know you said when we were previewing, the game last week, offensively, you guys, because of the numerous injuries that you've had within your program, were starting 8 sophomores, 2 juniors, and only 1 senior offensively. Who were some of the guys that really stepped up last week to help lead your team to victory?
Of course, Chris Williams, a junior for us at running back. Chris does a tremendous job there. He ran the ball really effective. So did Braden Hill, who's a sophomore. He was giving Chris some breaks at running back. Cam Webb, Caleb McDonald at the fullback spot. And then our guys up front. Our guys up front have truly grown. They're young. We get all of them back next year. So they, all but Brody, I think they were learning on the run because they hadn't had any varsity experience yet. And I think, Friday night was, a good run for those guys to really see how far they've come in the last 7 weeks.
What did you take away on the offensive side when it came to the things that you can build on for the next couple weeks here to end the year versus a couple things that you still feel like you can improve on through these last 2 games?
I think the biggest thing is continuing, because, we went to this smash mouth style football pretty much, under center. Caleb Wood came in and he's filled in at quarterback because, we're down our first 2 quarterbacks due to injury. But he came in, he commanded the huddle. He managed the game. So for us, a kid that hasn't played quarterback all year comes in and he does those type of things. And now it's just, keep the progression going forward of the O-line coming off the ball, doing getting their alignment right, getting their splits, getting their blocking scheme right. And, continuing down this stretch here, of just continuing to execute. And we got to build off what we did Friday night and go into a game this Friday where, we're going to have to really, really execute again, grind the ball, eat that clock, and limit Dominion's possessions.
Now that you guys have finally gotten that taste of victory here this season, how much confidence have you seen building up here over these past few days within your program because of it?
I think any time that, I say it all the time, like our schedule is not for the faint of hearts. It's, it's tough, and that's why, we win a game and we jump back in the top 16. And I think anybody that's, seen who we played, it's a tough night every night. But the confidence, I think, anytime you win a game, get out of that funk of, the 0-7 and getting in the win column. I think it's big for anybody. But Friday night it was homecoming. So it was electric atmosphere out here. The community was in full support, and I was just more happy for those guys to be able to walk off that field in that environment with their heads held high.
How much of this past week do you think can translate to this week moving forward versus what might have to change up with the new opponent this week in Dominion?
I mean, I think, offensively we are who we are right now, and that's what we're going to stick to. And, we're going to build off of those things. And, defensively, we just got to get back out there and execute the game plan, do our job, stay fundamentally sound, use our technique. And I think at the end of the day, going into this game, the kids got some confidence, but they know that, we're not satisfied with one. We want to go get another one and go ahead and try to get ourselves into that keep ourselves into that top 16 for a chance to play another week.
What are some things that stand out to you about Dominion when you look at the film?
Athletic. You look at their record and then you watch some of the film, and they got two quarterbacks. They've been rotating them that can, when they get out of the pocket, they're really, really effective. They get the ball out quick. They want to get the ball out in space. And they got two wide receivers that can really go. And they're physical up front. Our biggest thing is right now we don't have a lot of guys going both ways as far as, in the box. So we got to stick to the game plan of, getting in there, grinding it up, eating clock, wearing them down. That way when they're going both ways, we're fresh on the front.
You mentioned the two quarterbacks. Do they seem like a team where you feel like you're going to pretty much follow your game plan no matter which quarterback is in for them?
Yeah, I think they're both really, really good off-platform throws. They get out, they evade pressure, they get out of the pocket really well. So the game plan for both is it's the same game plan because both of them do pretty much the same thing.
What has been the focal points in practice this week that you guys have been trying to hit home with for your team? We got to limit some mistakes. We had 2 touchdowns called back Friday. And again, I think we can call hold on every single play in high school football, but, we had two touchdowns called back due to a couple holds. Cleaning that up. We didn't have any really other big penalties other than, that 14 points could have been crucial there down the stretch. So we got to clean that up. And then, like I said, the first play the other night, we got out of assignment one time, and it just happened to be the first play of the game. So we got to get out of that and, make them use the whole field to beat us and not make mistakes and give them big chunk yards. All right, Coach Faircloth, anything else? If not, we'll get to the fun question.
That's it, fellas.
All right, fun question. With Halloween being Friday night as well, we're keeping that theme here for this week's fun question. We've already asked you guys what your favorite candy and whatnot is, or favorite Halloween costume from growing up over the past few seasons. But this year's fun question for Halloween, are you a fan of kind of horror movies or scary movies when it comes to Halloween? And if so, what's your favorite?
I grew up on them, so I'm a big Freddy Krueger fan. I don't know if these kids even know who that is anymore. But I'm a big fan of them because like I said, grew up on Freddy Krueger, the Jason movies. Wasn't a big fan of the true Halloween type things, but Freddy Krueger and Jason for sure.
All right, there you go.
Classics.
Thank you, Coach, for the time, and best of luck on Friday.
All right, I appreciate it, fellas.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
That was Matt Faircloth, head coach of Hedgesville.